This is Valley View News.
Doors were open and I witnessed the burglary in progress.
My laptop and my camera.
The holiday season is here. Find out ways to prevent becoming a burglary victim.
Business is leaving California.
Some of California's television and film productions are leaving the state, saying that taxes are too high. A Los Angeles hobby shop has added new technology for flying remote-controlled aircraft.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Mona Adem.
And I'm Judith Ratana. The debate over immigration reform continues in the Antelope Valley. Valley View News reporter Brenda Garcia tells us how unauthorized immigrant students have been affected.
At our very best.
It has been an emotional ride for these people, all of which are dreamers. More than a dozen college students showed up to a Lancaster event which supports comprehensive immigration reform. The attendees watched a movie called The Dream Is Now by Academy Award-winning director David Guggenheim. This half-hour documentary is about immigrants who don't know of any other place they call home, except for the United States of America. That's why Peter Rothenberg, a local leader for Organizing for Action, led the evening's event. He says in order to make progress, House Republicans must pass comprehensive immigration reform.
So now we're getting together to try to pressure whoever our member of Congress is to do something, to act on this. The time is now to pass immigration reform.
Tonight's moderator, Peter Rothenberg, urged all gatherers to call Congress demanding that they pass comprehensive immigration reform. Supporters made that call in hopes for change.
Do it not just for me, but for all those who are in need of your support today. Together we can all make a change, and I know that you can be part of it as well.
My hope is that Congress establishes a pathway to citizenship for the 11 million people who are living here and working in the country. It's not enough just to legalize these people, because legalization and permanent residency is always temporary. Only citizenship is permanent, only citizenship protects people from deportation.
So the only thing these dreamers have are just dreams and faith. They hope that they one day will be reunited with their families again and be able to live their lives without any more fear.
People just don't see the effort and that we do. We are normal. What makes us different?
Reporting from Lancaster, I'm Brenda Garcia for Valley View News.
A powerful storm has moved toward the eastern U.S. as millions of Americans prepare to travel for Thanksgiving. Forecasters say they expect the Arctic storm to head south and east. The storm has already killed 8 people, with the latest death reported in New Mexico. The front will move along the east coast and could bring 2 to 5 inches of rain. The system will clear the east coast by Thanksgiving Day. This will affect travel plans for people who plan to hit the roads and airports during some of the busiest travel days of the year. According to AAA, more than 43 million Americans plan to travel more than 50 miles this holiday week.
4 more people are allegedly being charged in Ohio for the 2012 rape of a Steubenville High School 16-year-old girl. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine said the school superintendent, 2 other educators, and an assistant football coach have been added to the investigation of the case. DeWine said Monday he will announce at a news conference whether charges will be filed. Authorities say 2 Steubenville High School football players were convicted of the rape that took place at a party. The incident brought national attention after photos and videos of the crime were posted on social media. A grand jury will continue to investigate the case for new developments.
A Brooklyn man is being charged with a hate crime after allegedly punching a man in what is called the knockout game. The so-called knockout game is where an attacker tries to knock out an unsuspecting victim with a single punch. The man in the Brooklyn case allegedly punched an Orthodox Jewish man who was walking past him. The game has been tied to assaults in at least 6 states, and 3 people have been killed. City officials say they have zero tolerance for the game and say they will put an end to it.
The FBI has reported that hate crimes in the U.S. have declined in the last year. The Bureau reported in 2012 there were nearly 5,800 incidents. That's down from almost 6,200 in 2011. Officials say almost 50% of those were motivated by racial bias. 20% were motivated by sexual orientation. Another 20% were motivated by religious bias.
The holiday shopping season has already started and burglars are looking for things to steal. Valley View News reporter Rosie Chavez reports about ways to prevent becoming a victim.
Shoppers beware. Holiday sales are low, but burglary rates are high. This man's property was stolen 2 weeks ago.
From my car, my laptop and my camera.
Police say having a tracking device or serial number for tablets and electronics helps them tremendously.
We've taken down numerous suspects who had, multiple electronic items that we know are stolen, but we can't prove it because we don't have the serial numbers on file.
California Crime Statistics reports there were 246,000 burglaries last year and 230,000 burglaries in 2011. That's an increase of 6%. This woman saw how a man and a woman stole luggage from her car.
Doors were open and I witnessed the burglary in progress, and I witnessed them taking things from my car to their car. And they also vandalized my car.
She was only gone for 20 minutes. Police say to stay calm
and get as much detailed information about that person so that we have something to work on as far as the physical description, a vehicle description, direction that they're fleeing the scene.
Homes are also a target since people travel during the holidays.
Know your neighbors, know people that are supposed to be living around you, and then if there's suspicious activity, then we need you to call the police.
The Devonshire Police Station has joined social media. Like their Facebook page at LAPD Devonshire Division to be notified about crime alerts. Go to www.nixle.com or text your zip code to 888-777. Police say, don't forget to lock your car before leaving and don't leave any shopping bags, purses, or wallets unattended. The parking lot is another major location where burglars lurk this holiday season. In Northridge, I'm Rosie Chavez for Valley View News.
President Obama will make a quick trip to Los Angeles, where he will make several appearances and attend 3 fundraisers. Obama will appear at 2 fundraisers to benefit Democrats running for Congress and the Senate. The president will also visit the DreamWorks animation studio in Glendale to tour the site and give a speech on the economy. The president's trip to LA is the last stop on a West Coast swing that includes events in Seattle and San Francisco.
A recent national poll shows only 1 in 10 Americans believe President Obama is an effective leader. A CNN and an international survey also says 53% of Americans believe Obama is not trustworthy. 40% say Obama can manage the government effectively, but that 40% figure is down 12 points from June. A CNN polling director says the controversy over Obamacare has damaged the president's status as a leader.
The Los Angeles neighborhood of Highland Park is busy these days, with many improvements to the neighborhood. Valley View News reporter Stephanie Marroquin went there to find out why Highland Park is attracting many people.
The reason this is all occurring started here at the corner of York Boulevard and Avenue 50. New small businesses began sprouting, like the one here known as Café de Leche. With the new businesses came people now socializing and hanging out in the neighborhood. And even though new stores are opening up, not all the older businesses were replaced.
It's nice. I like it. I like the area. I just moved there.
Está bien, algunos.
It's good. The changes in the new stores are good. But the only thing I don't like are the bars, because there are a lot of kids that walk by and see what happens. But overall, I like the stores.
Pero de lo demás, pues las tiendas está bien.
Elsa's Bakeries, one of the oldest bakeries in Highland Park, has vowed to keep the traditions and cultures set forth by the former owners, and it's still thriving in this changing community. Elsa's has a fresh new look on the inside and outside, but owner Edmundo Rodriguez says he acquired the business and chose to keep it the same.
The owners did not want to sell the business to anyone that would turn it into a very trendy vintage store because of the change on York. He feared that this would become a boutique of some sort. He wanted to make sure that Mexican sweetbread, pan dulce, would still be the main focus of this particular store. We bought it several months ago, and we made sure we kept the same baker who's been here 39 of those 40-some years.
The change in Highland Park has even affected the area's real estate. Century 21 realtor Jeff Hutchins says the changing culture in Highland Park has brought in more people to live in the neighborhood.
I think with the new stores, with the whole revitalization of York Boulevard, I've seen the prices in just this past probably 4 years gone up 20 to 25% in Highland Park.
Artists have even taken the opportunity to make the community more visibly inviting. Some other changes that are visible are a bike corral that replaced a parking spot on York and a community parklet on the side of the road. With the revitalization of Highland Park just beginning, members of the community can expect to see much more soon. From Highland Park, I'm Stephanie Marroquin, Valley View News.
For the first time, Syrian officials will attend the Geneva conference in January. The goal will be to end the 3-year civil war that has claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said a key goal will be the creation of a transitional government with military powers.
At long last, and for the first time, the Syrian government and opposition will meet at the negotiating table instead of the battlefield.
Moon said participation in the Geneva conference signals a clear understanding of the desire for a peaceful resolution among the Syrian people.
Protests have broken out in Uganda after the mayor of the capital was removed from office. Many people protested on Monday in response to Arias Lugwaga's leave as Kampala's mayor. Ugandan police used tear gas against angry demonstrators who support the deposed mayor. Lugwago has been a critic of the country's longtime president. Uganda's government also found him guilty of the abuse of office and misconduct. Lugwago was charged in May.
Iran and 6 other world powers have reached a deal to curb the Iranian nuclear program. The deal comes in exchange for sanction relief on items including gold and petrochemical exports. Lifting the sanction is expected to provide $1.5 billion in revenue for Iran. Israeli Prime Minister reacted by calling it a historic mistake. Other world leaders say the 6-month deal gives them hope that Iran won't produce nuclear weapons in the future. Iran says it's happy with the agreement. Iranian officials say they hope the world knows that they use nuclear power for peace, not war. They say this is the first step to moving towards restoring the world's confidence in Iran.
Afghan President Hamid Karzai and the U.S. National Security Advisor are expected to meet. Karzai declined to sign a long-delayed security pact with the U.S. That has created doubt about the U.S. meeting its 2014 deadline to withdraw a majority of foreign forces from Afghanistan. Karzai says the winner of the next election on April 5th should be the one to sign the pact. The U.S. says the pact needs to be finalized by December 31st to allow enough time for planning. Coming up in sports, the Broncos' overtime thriller, plus a Bulls player suffers another knee injury and will be out for the rest of the season.
You love their music. Why would you steal it? When you illegally download your favorite band's music, they might just disappear. Downloading music without paying for it is just not cool.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer.
DMC, life in your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs, just keeping it real.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
So, Nanur, what did you think of the Bronx game?
Mona, I thought it was an amazing overtime nail-biter with two great quarterbacks battling until the end. Some fans figured the game was all but over with the Denver Broncos beating the New England Patriots 24-0 at the half, but Tom Brady made sure his Patriots were not going to lose in a blowout. Brady completed more than 80% of his passes in the second half. The Patriots were able to score on their first 5 possessions of the second half, bringing them to a 31-24 lead. But Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning threw an 11-yard pass to Demaryius Thomas to tie the game at 31 and force overtime. Bronco Tony Carter ran into the punt after the bounce, giving the Patriots the ball on the Broncos' 13-yard line. Patriots kicker Steven Gostkowski kicked a field goal with just under 2 minutes remaining to give the Patriots a 34-31 victory. This was Tom Brady's best game of the season with 344 yards, completing 34 of 50 passes and throwing 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. The San Diego Chargers overcame a 3-game losing streak to hand the Kansas City Chiefs their second straight loss of the season. Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith threw a touchdown pass with 1 minute and 22 seconds left in the game. That could have been the game-ending pass, but Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers had other plans. With 24 seconds left, Rivers threw a 26-yard pass to give the Chargers a 41-38 victory. This is only the second time this season the Chiefs have given up more than 17 points. An unidentified woman is in very critical condition after jumping from the 3rd deck of the Coliseum in Oakland following a Raiders loss. She entered an area that was blocked to the public, moved to the railing, and prepared to jump. People noticed on the concourse below and tried to persuade her not to jump. She did not listen, but one man risked his life and attempted to catch her. He saved her life by breaking her 45-foot fall. He is in the hospital with serious injuries, but is expected to survive. Chicago Bulls star Derrick Rose will miss the rest of the season after undergoing knee surgery. Rose had to have the meniscus repaired in his right knee. He could have chosen to have only part of the meniscus removed to get him on the court in a few weeks. But Rose decided to have the meniscus reattached, which will keep him out of action for the next 4 to 6 months. Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau expects Rose to make a full recovery, but also acknowledges disappointment throughout the locker room. The Los Angeles Lakers secured their 3rd straight victory with a win over the Sacramento Kings. Jordan Hill and Pau Gasol both had double-doubles in the game. Gasol scored 20 points and grabbed 10 rebounds. Xavier Henry had another solid late-game performance, scoring 12 of his 21 points in the 4th quarter. The Lakers went on a 13-5 run, putting them up by 17 points with 7 minutes remaining. They held on to the lead and won the game 100-86. Kobe Bryant will remain the highest paid player in the NBA after signing a $48.5 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. The extension is for 2 years. Bryant will receive $23.5 million in the first year and $25 million in the second year. The team announced that this deal should ensure that Bryant completes his career with the Lakers. The New York Yankees have signed catcher Brian McCann to a 5-year, $85 million contract. There is also an option for a 6th season, which could push the contract to over $100 million. The deal has a no-trade clause and is pending a physical. McCann hit .257 with 20 home runs and 56 RBIs in 2013. The Yankees are looking to sign many free agents this offseason. They are looking at Carlos Beltran as well as Shin Soo-Choo and Jacoby Ellsbury. The Anaheim Ducks beat the Phoenix Coyotes 4-2 in the Coyotes' first home game this season. Ducks goalie Jonas Hiller helped the second straight victory, stopping 73 out of 75 shots on goal over his past 2 games. Coyotes' Mike Ribeiro tied the game at 7.5 minutes into the second period. But the Ducks countered with 2 more goals in under 3 minutes. Ducks' Dustin Penner had 2 goals in the game, his second coming on a 2-1 break in the second period. The Ducks remain the only undefeated team at home this season. That's all for sports. Now back to you.
Coming up in entertainment news, casting calls are beginning for the newest Star Wars movie, and see what you might have missed at the American Music Awards.
Do you know what to do?
Yes.
Bring it back to me. Then I'll give you your money.
Frank Thomas.
You are under arrest for the theft of trade secrets. Come with me.
Bye-bye, Frank. Theft of trade secrets is illegal.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
So Naomi, can we still say Hollywood is the entertainment capital of the world?
Well, I definitely think it still is, but people in the entertainment industry say they're worried because Hollywood is losing business. Some companies and one of California's major industries are leaving the state for other locations in the U.S. Valley View News reporter Ryan Music with more on the story.
This is the set for the world premiere of Disney's new animated film, Frozen. Taking place on Hollywood and Highland at the El Capitan Theater, there's a lot of preparation to be done. Television and film production are a major part of Southern California's economy. In recent years, production companies have started to leave California because of high taxes.
So this will have a huge impact on Los Angeles.
It's kind of a burden for those people that have a life here in the business, and it's going away from them. They have to chase it to get jobs. So there's a lot of people unemployed.
Cinema and television arts professor Michael Hogan at Cal State Northridge says California is losing a lot of money.
But, there's a lot of research that's been done. There are a lot of businesses. I think the number I heard was somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2 billion a year of business is leaving California. Major companies are leaving to go someplace that's more friendly. So as more we tax the people that are here, then the more likely they are to move.
Back in 2005, about 80% of new television network dramas were filmed in Los Angeles. In 2013, that number is expected to drop to about 10%. Mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, says he has a plan to approach Sacramento to provide better tax breaks for both television and film production companies to keep the industry alive in Southern California. Reporting from Hollywood, I'm Ryan Music, Valley View News.
The American Music Awards has honored some of the music's most beloved stars. Pop diva Taylor Swift took home several awards. She was named Artist of the Year and also won Favorite Country Artist and Favorite Country Album for her album titled Red. Other pop divas, including Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, performed during the opening and closing of the show. Megastar Justin Timberlake was the first winner of the show. He thanked his fans for voting for him. The AMAs were aired live from Nokia Theater and were held in downtown Los Angeles. The debut of the film Catching Fire rocked the box office on its opening weekend. This was the second of the Hunger Games films, and it brought in $161 million last weekend. The film follows Katniss and Peeta following their victory in the Hunger Games. Hundreds of people watched the movie during the midnight release. The film beat last year's debut of the first Hunger Games film, which opened at $152 million. Catching Fire also breaks the November debut record set in 2009 by the Twilight Saga's New Moon. Coming in second place in the weekend's box office was Thor: The Dark World. A casting call notice for the Star Wars Episode 7 made its way online. The call has outlined 2 roles for auditions this month in the United Kingdom. The auditions call for lead roles, 1 female and 1 male, both of whom should be smart, athletic, and beautiful. We also know that the new trilogy will pull from the series' expanded universe. Katie Couric is reportedly ready to move on from ABC. The journalist has already signed a new deal with Yahoo. No details have been released on what Couric will be doing with the company. Quirk locked in a deal with ABC 3 years ago for her daytime talk show, Katie, and a role at ABC News. Despite its low ratings, the show could still continue because the deal was separate from her contract with ABC News. Quirk shot down rumors earlier this year that she was moving from ABC to CNN. Quirk has yet to comment on the Yahoo deal. With some of the latest technology, a hobby store in Los Angeles has come up with a new type of remote-controlled aircraft. They like to call it a drone, but it has no relation to the military. Valley View News reporter Camila Rambaldi has more on the story.
Speed, flying height, and control. These are some of the things you will need to know about to fly this little machine, called a drone. Here at Hobby House, customers buy the drones to fly for fun and even for movies. Hobby House's online content manager says you can attach cameras to these drones.
People that need some sort of video solution to record from the sky to have a different view other than just like front camera or something like that. It gives a good solution.
He also says you can add a GPS system.
You can actually make those multi-rotocopters stay the same location. Not only that, because it has GPS, it also knows where you start flying it, so it can come back if something happens, something wrong. It will fly back to you.
Hobby House says these motorcopters take about 7 days to build from scratch once all the parts are assembled. Then they are taken to an open field for a series of test flights. Customers say they are happy with the product.
Because now everything is electric, so all the parts are not that expensive, batteries are not expensive anymore, so it's pretty good on maintenance.
Here at Hobby House, I learned some of the basic ways on how to fly a drone. The first thing you will need is a transmitter, which controls the direction the drone is flying in, and the drone itself. This drone can go up to 40 miles an hour, and the battery usually lasts between 8 to 10 minutes worth of flying. In Los Angeles, this is Camila Rambaldi reporting for Valley View News.
That's all for entertainment. Now back to you.
A Los Angeles shop that serves ice cream and cookies has been attracting long lines of customers for 30 years. Reporter Dylan Connolly went to Westwood to check it out.
Long lines are a familiar sight on Broxton Avenue near UCLA. Diddy Reese, a shop that is famous for its low prices, offers cookies, ice cream, and shaved ice for cheap. People don't mind standing all around the block to try one of their famous snacks.
It's affordable, it's pretty fast, it's ice cream. I love ice cream.
It's really cheap and really good. And I like cookies like a lot.
The shop caters mostly to students. Its best deal is a dozen cookies for $4. Dylan Beatty is from Northridge, and he explains why Diddy Reese is worth every penny.
I came from Northridge just because it's so good. I love shaved ice, and they have a place in Northridge, but this is only $1. So I mean, it's worth it to come down here sometimes. And the cookies are bomb too.
In Westwood, for Valley View News, I'm Dylan Connolly, about to try one myself.
Thank you for watching this edition of Valley View News. I'm Judith Rotana.
And I'm Muna Adem. Have a great week.